Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a very blessed week. But this morning, I want to ask you a question. How would you describe your relationship with God? Now, I'm not talking about if your relationship is good or bad with God right now. Maybe it's better saying, how would you categorize your relationship with God right now? So some categories, maybe for myself, would be Chloe is my wife. I have family and in-laws. Have to mention the in-laws. I have best friends, work colleagues, acquaintances. So there's a whole host of different categories that include people in my life. And I want to ask you, how do you categorize your relationship with God? Now, we're going to go through a passage right now, and just keep that in mind. We're going to be going through Exodus 33, verses 7 to 11. But to give you some background to this passage, Moses has led the people of Israel out of Egypt. They have come to Mount Sinai, and Moses has gone up to Mount Sinai. God has given him the 10 Commandments amongst other laws. And Moses comes down Mount Sinai and then finds that the people of God has already turned away from God and worshipping a golden calf. And the reason for that is that the people don't know what's happened to Moses as he was up the mountain for a while. And they go to Aaron and say, build us a God that has come before us and will lead us. And so he builds a calf. And Moses finds this out and throws the tablets on the floor, breaks the tablets that he's had from Mount Sinai from God, and then burns the calf, the golden calf. And amongst other things, he sorts the people of God out because they have already gone against what the Lord wanted them to do. And then we get to chapter 33. And in chapter 33, God tells Moses then at the start to leave Mount Sinai. And then we pick it up in verse 7. And I'm reading from the ESV. Now Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, far off from the camp, and he called it the tent of meeting. And everyone who sought the Lord would go out to the tent of meeting, which was outside the camp. Whenever Moses went out to the tent, all the people would rise up, and each would stand at his tent door and watch Moses until he had gone into the tent. When Moses entered the tent, the pillar of cloud would descend and stand at the entrance of the tent, and the Lord would speak with Moses. And when all the people saw the pillar of cloud standing at the entrance of the tent, all the people would rise up and worship, each at his tent door. Thus the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. When Moses turned again into the camp, his assistant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, would not depart from the tent. I'm going to be looking specifically at verse 11 and the start of the verse. I'm going to read it again. Thus the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. I look at this verse and I think, wow, this gives us a little insight into how Moses' relationship with God was, on how personal and how deep his relationship was with the Lord. And then I think, am I speaking to God as one speaks to a friend? Is my relationship like Moses' relationship with the Lord? Can we say that? I would probably say that I can't. And maybe not many can. But I have a lovely friend up in Newcastle who's been living there for quite a while. So to catch up and to keep in contact, every 2 weeks on a Friday afternoon, we give each other a call. And I finish work half day on a Friday, so I'll take the dogs out for a walk, put in my earphones, and then we'll chat away. Now, most of the time we are talking for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it goes by like that. It absolutely flies by. And I wonder, and I ask myself, how I speak to one of my dearest friends, is that how I would speak to God? In the sense of that is effortless. Maybe for a lot of us, making sure that we get time with God and speaking to God takes a lot of effort. But it shouldn't. It should be effortless when it comes to speaking with God. And Moses got to that place. He was speaking to God as one speaks to a friend. And then I asked myself, well, how can I get to be a little bit like Moses, speaking to God as you would a friend, like effortlessly for hours you can chat. And I'm sure loads of us have friends where we could sit down for a coffee and stay there for hours upon hours chatting. But Moses, what he did throughout his life was he continually sought the Lord. He continually spoke to the Lord, and he continually spent time with the Lord. And that is what each and every one of us has to do. We need to seek the Lord, we need to speak to the Lord, and we need to spend time with the Lord. If we don't, then we're not going to get to that place where we speak to him like a friend. The people that are closest to us, we spend a lot of time with, and we can have more conversations with. And that's what we need to be like with the Lord. We need to spend as much time as we can with him, because he has done so much for us. It's a relationship that needs to be deepened. So I challenge you, take some time. Maybe it's out during the day, or take time going for a long walk with no distractions. Now that's a hard one. Make sure you get no distractions. So either spend time in the house or in the garden, or go out for a long walk and talk to God. Spend time with him. Seek him in what you need in your life at the moment. And please let me know how it goes. I will try to do the same as well. And I'm sure we can have a lovely conversation. But remember that Moses always sought the Lord. He spoke with the Lord, and he spent time with the Lord. We need to make sure we do that. And the more regularly we do this, the more and more we'll be able to say that from verse 11, we can speak to God as someone would speak to a friend. Hope you have a blessed week. Bye.